All right, so have you ever wondered what would happen if you took a dark web game show and threw in, a fight for survival?
Sounds a little intense, right?
Well, yeah, that's the premise of Self Reliance. And it's actually the directorial debut of Jake Johnson.
Wait, Jake Johnson, like Nick Miller from New Girl Jake Johnson?
The one and only. And he's not just starring in this one. He wrote and directed it, too.
Wow, so he's not just a funny guy then.
Nope. Turns out he's got a pretty dark side, too. But don't worry, the movie's still got plenty of laughs.
That's actually something I wanted to talk about. That mix of humor and, really dark suspense. How does he pull that off?
I think that's kind of Johnson's, and Andy Samberg's for that matter, whole comedic style, right? They can be super silly, but also kind of subversive.
Yeah, true. They definitely don't shy away from awkward or uncomfortable situations, which I guess is perfect for a movie about a deadly game show.
Exactly. And you know what else is perfect? The cast. Anna Kendrick.
Okay, now you're talking. She's amazing.
Andy Samberg, obviously. But also, are you ready for this? Hit me.
Christopher Lloyd. Doc Brown himself.
Whoa, hold on. Now that's a blast from the past. I'm curious, though, how does he fit into all this? Did you find his role convincing?
That's an interesting point. I think he brings a certain something, adds to the overall feel of the movie. What did you think?
Honestly, I wasn't completely sold. It felt a little gimmicky, like stunt casting, maybe.
Yeah, you could definitely argue that. But anyway, let's get back to this story. The main character is this guy, Tommy Walcott. Kind of your average Joe.
Average how?
Well, he's just sort of stuck in a rut, Unfulfilled at work, lonely, just going through the motions. And then he comes across this dark web game show.
And that's where things get interesting, right? It's not just a game, it's like life or death.
Literally. And I think that's where the movie's commentary on reality TV really comes in. It's like, how far would you go for fame? For validation.
Right, because there has to be a reason why someone would sign up for something this dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think the movie's kind of saying it's that desire to be seen to matter, which, when you think about it, is kind of what drives a lot of reality TV too, right? People pushing themselves to their limits, sometimes humiliating themselves even, just for those 15 minutes of fame.
It's pretty unsettling when you think about it that way.
And the challenge in self-reliance. Survive for 30 days. Well, everyone else is trying to take you out.
30 days? No way. I'd tap out immediately.
Right. I wouldn't last a day. But for Tommy, it's almost like this weird, twisted form of self-discovery.
Oh, totally. The whole 30-day thing, it's not just about the action. It's forcing him to confront his own fears, his weaknesses.
And let's be real, there's a lot of those to unpack. But as the game goes on, the movie starts to dig into some deeper themes too, like isolation.
Especially in a city like Los Angeles, right? The movie makes great use of that setting, all those bright lights and crowds, but Tommy's still completely alone.
It's such a stark contrast. And then there's the score by Dan Romer, which is phenomenal. It perfectly captures that blend of tension and humor that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the music is really effective. It sets the mood perfectly.
So, want to know how to see it? It premiered at South by Southwest back in March.
Oh, cool. So it's been making the rounds.
Yeah. Had a limited release in theaters, but good news.
It's on streaming.
You got it. On Hulu right now.
Sweet. Well, I know what I'm watching tonight then.
Me too.
Yeah.
And you know what I think is the most interesting question the movie raises?
What's that?
How much are we willing to sacrifice just to be seen?
Oh, that's a good one. Especially in today's world with social media and reality TV, makes you wonder what's real anymore.
Exactly.